Chapter 99. God of the floating submerging star, Zhengchun. God of the heavenly slaying star, Bianji. God of the yearly killing star, Chenggung. God of the yearly punishment star, Shufang. God of the yearly breaking star, Chao Tian. God of the lonely fire star, Ji Shui. God of the blood-red star, Mahjong. God of the lost spirit star, O Yangchun. God of the monthly breaking star, Wang Hu. Goddess of the monthly touring star, Lady Rock. God of the dead air star, Chen Jizhen. God of the salty pond star, Xu Zhong. God of the monthly disgusted star, Yao Zhong. God of the monthly punishment star, Chen Wu. God of the black killing star, Gao Jineng. God of the seven murders star, Zhang Kui. God of the 5 grains star, Yin Hong. God of the avoiding murder star, Yu Zhong. God of the heavenly punishment star, Ouyang Tianlu. God of the heavenly net star, Chen Tong. God of the earthly net star, Ji Shuji. God of the heavenly space star, Mei Wu. God of the parasol star, Ao Bing. God of the 10 evils star, Zhou Xin. Goddess of the silkworm breeding star, Huang Yongji. Goddess of the peach blossom star, Gao Lun Ying. Goddess of the broom star, Lady Ma Jiang Ziya's wife. God of the great calamity star, Li Zhen. God of the scattering about star, Han Rong. God of the morning dress star, Ling Shen. God of the 9 ugliness star, Dragon Beard Tiger. Gods of the 3 corpse stars, S.A. Jian, S.A. Chang, and S.A. Yong. God of the Ying mistake star, Jin Cheng. God of the Yang error star, Ma Chenlong. God of the cutlass slaying star, Gongsun Duo. God of the 4 waste star, Yonhong. God of the 5 poverties star, Senha. God of the earthly space empty star, Maida. Goddess of the red lovely star, Concubine Yang. God of the flowing haze star, Wu Rong. God of the sleeping alone star, Zhu Sheng. God of the heavenly plague star, Jin Dasheng. God of the laying waste star, Dai Li. God of the fetus spirit star, Ji Shuli. God of the decision star, Zhu Zijin. God of the anti-singing star, Yang Xian. God of the pro-singing star, Yao Shuliang. God of the knife anvil star, Cheng Hao. God of the exterminating star, Fang Jingyun. God of the yearly disgusted star, Peng Zushou. God of the breaking star, Wu Long. The gods of the 28 constellations. God of the horny wood dragon constellation, Bai Ling. God of the dipper wood insect constellation, Yang Xin. God of the huge wood wolf constellation, Li Xiong. God of the well-wood elk constellation, Shen Gung. God of the ox metal ox constellation, Li Hong. God of the devil metal goat constellation, Zhao Bai Gao. God of the blundering metal dog constellation, Zhang Xiong. God of the haughty metal dragon constellation, Li Dao Tong. God of the female earth bat constellation, Zheng Yon. God of the stomach earth pheasant constellation, Song Geng. God of the willow earth roebuck constellation, Wu Kun. God of the native earth jackal constellation, Gao Bing. God of the star sun horse constellation, Lu Neng. God of the heroic sun cock constellation, Huang Tang. God of the vain sun rat constellation, Zhou Bao. God of the room sun rabbit constellation, Yao Gongbo. God of the completion moon crow constellation, Jin Shenyang. God of the danger moon swallow constellation, Ho Taiyi. God of the heart moon fox constellation, Su Yan. God of the long moon deer constellation, Shu Ding. The 36 gods of the heavenly gallant stars. God of the heavenly leading star, Gao Yen. God of the heavenly gallant star, Huang Jin. God of the heavenly planning star, Lu Chang. God of the heavenly leisure star, Ji Bing. God of the heavenly courageous star, Yao Gong Xiao. God of the heavenly heroic star, Shi Kuai. God of the heavenly fierce star, Sung Yi. God of the heavenly mighty star, Li Bao. God of the heavenly courageous star, Zhu Yi. God of the heavenly honorable star, Chen Kan. God of the heavenly rich star, Li Xian. God of the heavenly full star, Fang Bao. God of the heavenly lonely star, Zhen Xiu. God of the heavenly injured star, Li Hongren. God of the heavenly mystic star, Wang Lung Mao. God of the heavenly healthy star, Deng Yu. God of the heavenly dark star, Li Xin. God of the heavenly safety star, Xu Zhengdao. God of the heavenly empty star, Dian Tong. God of the heavenly swift star, Wu Shu. God of the heavenly different star, Lu Zicheng. God of the heavenly demon star, Ren Liping. God of the heavenly minute star, Gong Qing. God of the heavenly contemplating star, Shan Baijiao. God of the heavenly retreating star, Gao Ke. God of the heavenly longevity star, Qi Cheng. God of the heavenly sword star, Wang Hu. God of the heavenly level star, Bu Tong. God of the heavenly criminal star, Yao Gong. God of the heavenly damage star, Tang Tianzheng. God of the heavenly defeat star, Shen Li. God of the heavenly imprisonment star, Wen Jie. God of the heavenly clever star, Zhang Jixiong. God of the heavenly violent star, Bida. God of the heavenly weeping star, Liu Da. God of the heavenly skillful star, Chen Sanyi. The 72 gods of the earthly evil stars. God of the earthly leading star, Chen Jizhen. God of the earthly evil star, Huang Jingyun. God of the earthly courageous star, Jia Cheng. God of the earthly heroic star, Hu Baiyan. God of the earthly gallant star, Lu Xiude. God of the earthly power star, Xu Chang. God of the earthly mighty star, Sun Xiang. God of the early strange star, Wang Peng. God of the earthly fierce star, Bai Yo Huang. God of the earthly literature star, Ge Gao. God of the earthly upright star, Cao Ge. God of the earthly secluded star, Li Sui. God of the earthly closing star, Liu Heng. God of the earthly strong star, Xia Sheng. God of the earthly dark star, Yu Hui. God of the earthly helping star, Bao Long. God of the earthly gathering star, Lu Ji. God of the earthly assisting star, Huang Bingqing. God of the earthly safety star, Zhang Qi. God of the earthly spirit star, Guo Yi. God of the earthy beast star, Jin Nan Dao. God of the earthly minute star, Chen Yun. God of the earthly clever star, Chi Kun. God of the earthly violent star, Sang Chengdao. God of the earthly silent star, Zhou Geng. God of the earthly mad star, Qi Gong. God of the earthly rampant star, Huo Ji Yon. God of the earthly flying star, Yi Zhong. God of the early walking star, Gu Zong. God of the earthly skillful star, Li Chang. God of the earthly bright star, Fang Ji. God of the earthly progressive star, Xu Ji. God of the earthly retreating star, Fan Huan. God of the earthly full star, Zhuo Gong. God of the earthly successful star, Kong Cheng. God of the earthly round star, Yao Jingxiu. God of the earthly disappearing star, Ning Sanyi. God of the earthly different star, Yu Ji. God of the earthly theory star, Tong Jin. God of the earthly gallant star, Yong Dingxiang. God of the earthy happy star, Wang Xiang. God of the earthly adroit star, Gung Yen. God of the earthly swift star, Xing Sen Wan. God of the earthly suppressing star, Jiang Zhong. God of the earthly detaining star, Kong Tianzhao. God of the earthly devil star, Li Yu. God of the earthly sprite star, Gong Qian. God of the earthly tranquil star, Duan Qing. God of the earthly submitting star, Men Daozheng. God of the earthly secluded star, Zhu Lin. God of the earthly space star, Xiao Dian. God of the earthly lonely star, Wu Siyu. God of the earthly complete star, Kuan Yu. God of the earthly short star, Cai Gong. God of the earthly corner star, Lan Hu. God of the earthly imprisonment star, So Lu. God of the earthly treasure star, Guan Bin. God of the earthly level star, Long Cheng. God of the earthly damage star, Huang Wu. God of the earthly slave star, Kong Dao Ling. God of the earthly examining star, Zheng Huang. God of the earthly wicked star, Li Xin. God of the earthly soul star, Xu Shan. God of the earthly counting star, Ge Fang. God of the earthly punishment star, Jiao Long. God of the earthly torture star, Qing Xiang. God of the earthly strong star, Wu Yanggong. God of the earthly inefficient star, Fan Bin. God of the earthly healthy star, Yi Jingchang. God of the earthly spending star, Yao Yi. God of the earthly theft star, Sun Ji. God of the earthly dog star, Chen Mangang. The gods of the 9 brightly shining stars, Chong Yingbiao, Gao Shiping, Han Peng, Li Ji, Wang Feng, Liu Jin, Wang Chu, Tong Zhouyuan, and Li Sanyi. The 5 gods of the water virtue stars in the Big Dipper. God of the water virtue star, Lu Xiong. God of the water leopard star, Yang Zhen. God of the water beaver star, Fang Jiqing. God of the water ape star, Seng Xiang. God of the water earthworm star, Hu Dao Yuan. The gods of the stars and constellations, after hearing the announcements, kowtowed to express their thanks and left the terrace. Lead the gods of the year to the terrace for their deification. Jiang Ziya ordered. Bai Jian then led Ying Jiao, Yang Ren, and a few others to the terrace. They knelt down to wait for their orders. I declare Ying Jiao as the god of the year. Your duty is to watch over all that happens in the year, whether good or bad. And I deify you, Yang Ren, as the god of the 60-year cycle. The gods under you will act according to the decrees of the universe, and examine all the good or evil done by the people. All of you must adhere strictly to your duties. The gods under your command are: God on day patrol, Wen Liang. God on night patrol, Qiao Quan. God for increasing happiness, Hang Dulong. God for reducing happiness, Shi Ahu. God of doctrine preaching, Fang Bi. God of the vanguard, Fang Xiang. God on yearly duty, Li Bing. God on monthly duty, Huang Chengyi. God on daily duty, Zhou Deng. God on hourly duty, Liu Hong. After they had left the terrace, Jiang Ziya ordered, lead Wang Mo and others to the terrace for deification. When they had knelt down on the terrace to listen, Jiang said, I deify you four as the gods to guard the precious spiritual firmament. All will hold the honorable title of Great Saint Commander-in-Chief. Wang Mo, Yang Sen, Gao Tiqian, and Li Xingba kowtowed their thanks and left the terrace. Jiang Ziya next ordered, lead Zhao Gongming and others to the terrace. When they arrived, Jiang Ziya declared, Zhao Gongming, you are deified as the genuine god of the profound Dragon Tiger altar. Your duties are to welcome the blessings of auspicious happiness and chase criminals who are fleeing. The names of the 4 other gods under your command are: God of welcoming treasures, Xiao Sheng. God of storing valuables, Cao Bao. Envoy of welcoming wealth, Chen Jiugong. Ferry officer of good market, Yao Shaosi. Zhao and the 4 others kowtowed and left the terrace. Lead the 4 Mo generals to the terrace for deification. Jiang Ziya ordered once again. In a short while, Bai Jian led Mo Liqing and his 3 brothers to the terrace. They knelt down to receive their deification. Jiang Ziya declared, you are named the great heavenly kings, who will guard and serve the Western religion of Buddhism, protect the country and people with earth, water, fire, and wind, and regulate both the wind and rain. Your posts and duties are as follows. Mo Liqing, you are the developing heavenly king. You hold the green light precious sword and are in charge of the wind. Mo Li Hong, you are the wide-eyed heavenly king. You hold the green jade lute, and your duty is to regulate the wind. Mo Li Hai, you are the literature heavenly king. You hold the precious universe muddling umbrella and are in charge of the rain. Mo Li Shou, you are the national protection heavenly king. You hold the spotted ermine, and your duty is to adjust the rain. You all must adhere to your duties faithfully. The 4 generals kowtowed and left the terrace. Jiang Ziya then ordered, lead Zheng Lun and Chen Qi to the terrace for deification. When both Zheng Lun and Chen Qi came and knelt before him, Jiang Ziya announced, "I deify you because of your wonderful strength as the gods of Heng and Ha, to guard the gate of the Western Buddha's residence, to preach the truth, and to protect the precious weapons and instruments there. You must carry out your duties faithfully." Both Zheng Lun and Chen Qi kowtowed and left the terrace. Jiang Ziya ordered Yu Hualong and others to see him. When they arrived, he said, "I deify you, Yu Hualong, as chief god, with the title of the Green Haze, prime king controller of smallpox. You must carry out your duties with the 5 other gods of smallpox. I deify your wife, Lady Jin, as the saint queen to protect sick rooms. The 5 other gods are as follows: God of smallpox in the east, Yu Da. God of smallpox in the west, Yu Zhao. God of smallpox in the south, Yu Guang. God of smallpox in the north, Yu Xian. God of smallpox in the center, Yu Da. You must all fulfill your duties respectfully." After the Yu family had left the terrace, High Firmament, Jade Firmament, and Green Firmament arrived for deification. Jiang Ziya announced, "Your crimes were serious, but you are generously forgiven and honored with glorious titles. Hereafter, you are to be called the goddesses of the golden universe muddling dipper. Your duty is to deal with birth. Everyone, fairies, ordinary people, saints, dukes, kings, the rich and the poor, the clever and the foolish, must all come into this world with the golden dipper. You, High Firmament, Jade Firmament, and Green Firmament, must strictly adhere to your duties and respectfully appreciate the grace bestowed upon you." The 3 goddesses kowtowed their thanks, and Jiang Ziya finally ordered Shen Gongbao to ascend the terrace. When Shen Gongbao had come to kneel before him, Jiang Ziya pronounced, "Shen Gongbao, you were originally a member of Chan Taoism but later opposed your own sect. When you were arrested, you dishonestly made a false oath to cover up your crimes. Knowing that you once tried to devote yourself to learning the doctrines, we now generously grant you the title of God of the East Sea. Your duties are to watch the sunrise and sunset and the water in summer and the ice in winter. In addition, you are graced with the position of water dividing general. You must adhere faithfully to your post." After the announcement was over, Shen Gongbao kowtowed and left the terrace. As soon as all 365 gods were deified, they left Mount Qi to take up their posts. The sad wind and fog disappeared, and the bright sun shone again from above. Jiang Ziya went below and gave an order to General Nangong Kuo. "Invite all the ministers and officials, civil and military, high and low, to come to Mount Qi tomorrow." General Nangong raced to West Qi City to carry out the order. Early the next day, Jiang Ziya held a conference with his ministers and officials. He ordered that Fei Lian and Alai be led before them. When Fei Lian and Alai pleaded innocence, Jiang Ziya smiled and said, "You 2 wicked chaps have committed capital crimes. You tricked the king and put many loyal ministers to death, leading to the complete destruction of the Shang dynasty. Even death is far too light a punishment for the seriousness of your crimes. Both the nation and the king were destroyed, and you brought treasures to us in an attempt to buy high posts in the Zhou dynasty. Our new king has risen to the throne according to the will of heaven and is doing his best to effect reform. We cannot let you 2 disloyal bastards live any longer to humiliate us." Jiang Ziya then ordered, "Take them out and cut their heads off." Please read the next chapter if you wish to know how they fared.